Ben had said to me, like, you do know you're starting and what a big game it is, and I was like, oh, thanks. That was the moment for sure that I knew we were going to go up.
It looked like it hurt.
Felt that one for like a week or longer after that.
This one? Best view in the house, look at that.
Look at that.
Aaron's is there, that's a fantastic goal! Back into to Max Aaron! Yes! Max Aaron's for Norwich City!
So Max, 150 games as a Norwich City player. Could you just tell us a little bit about how it feels to have reached that milestone?
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. I think it's everything I've worked towards. You know, as a academy player, coming through the system, it's an amazing achievement to have achieved 150 games, especially at, you know, just turning 22. But I want to get more and more and reach 200 and 250 and so on. So it's an amazing achievement, and I'm grateful for, you know, every opportunity that I've been given. And like I said the other day, whether it was my debut in this picture or, you know, now my 150th game, that feeling's still the same every time I, you know, put the shirt on.
Obviously, you've noticed the picture on the screen. We've picked out some iconic moments from your 150 games playing for Norwich. The first picture, quite difficult to sort of decipher who you were playing that day, but obviously it makes it sense to start on your debut. Can you just tell us your memories from that game against Stevenage, if you can remember that?
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago now, but it also feels like it was, you know, yesterday. It's a weird one, but you know, it was an amazing day for me and my family. I remember being, you know, very nervous on the day of that game, getting told on the same day that I was playing, and you know, whether it was a cup game, but being so nervous and just wanting to prove to everyone what I could do. I just remember, you know, realising the opportunity that I'd been given and knowing that I needed to take it. So yeah, an amazing day, and one that I'll never forget. And you know, that picture doesn't really show who I'm playing against, but I'll always know that picture because that was one of the ones, you know, with my name on the back of the shirt and my number, and I'll always remember it for the first time.
And obviously you were training with the first team throughout that summer leading into the 18-19 season, so with this being the first cup game, I guess you probably would have earmarked that as the one that you might feature in, perhaps? Yeah,
it was a hard one at the time because I think we'd had a tough start to the season in the league, and we weren't doing very well in the league, so I didn't really know how the manager wanted to approach it with more experience in the cup or to you know, to use a younger team and a more, you know, a less experienced team, sorry. And obviously I had to be ready. I had to make myself, you know, believe that I was going to start and make myself ready for the game in case I was called upon, and that's what I'd done, and I was told on the day, and you know, it was, you know, my game face was on and ready to play.
And then obviously the next game in the cup, quite a memorable one for you. Your first goal at senior level, beat Cardiff that day, I think 3-1.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, getting the third goal there, you must hold on to this memory forever.
Yeah, that was, yeah, without a doubt, that was, you know, one of the best moments of my career, and I think it always will be because I realised that as, you know, I played my first game against Stevenage, found my feet, and that was the game where I looked at it and said, I want to put my marker down. And you know, I was playing left back in that game, and I remember my dad travelling down to Cardiff for that game, and thinking, you know what, when I was in that position that I wanted to score and I needed to score, and I just remember you know, being delighted, and you know, I was pretty lost for words after the game because again, it was a cup game, but that feeling of scoring was just amazing. My first ever goal professionally.
Not a bad celebration as well, quite standard, but
good celebration. Yeah, I've got that one in me, to be fair, just the arms out. Didn't really know what to do at the time, but
you look a bit confused there, to be honest.
A bit confused, yeah, but you know, I ran over to the fans, and yeah, it's an amazing, you know, looking at that picture, it's amazing.
And then going into your league debut, which was the small matter of the East Anglian derby at Portland Road. For any Norwich City player, one of the more daunting prospects, making your debut against Ipswich Town in their own backyard. When did you learn that you were going to be in the starting 11 that day, and how did you feel when you found out?
Yeah, again, so we played Cardiff on the Wednesday, I think it was, and this game was the Sunday after that. So I'd obviously scored in the cup, but I still didn't think I'd play in the league. I thought the manager still wanted to stick with the experience that they had and that we had. And that summer we'd signed a lot of players. So I think I thought that he'd want to give them more of a chance and stick with the same team. But it got to the Saturday before. We'd done like a shape 11v11 game, and I was in the team with Timu and Emmy and those types of guys, and I was looking around thinking that obviously I was in the starting team. So it kind of hit home then, and then Ben Godfrey said to me, I was rooming with him, and he said then the night before the game, I still hadn't really clocked on, that it was the East Anglian derby that next day, and I was just trying to be as relaxed as I can. And then Ben had said to me, like, you do know you're starting and what a big game it is, and I was like, oh, thanks.
No pressure.
Yeah, exactly. He just kept telling me, and I was like, all right, I'm trying to sleep here, but it was, knew the size of the game, knew the task at hand, and of course we drew that day, but I think that was a game that led us on then to amazing things in that season. So what a day. I just remember the nerves, but once I was in the game, it was all guns blazing and ready to go.
Certainly was a lot of memories that season. Thinking of games like Millwall, Nottingham Forest, particularly on Boxing Day, but we've picked out a couple of ones that probably stick out for you personally. This one, which was your first league goal. What can you remember about this one against Rotherham? I
remember we actually went 1-0 down in the game, then Todd scored, made it 1-1, and then I've seen him open out. He's playing on the left, he's turned out, and he's seen my run, and I've run in behind, and he's just chipped it, and I've glanced the header in the far post. So again, what a day, and to get a winner in that game was amazing. And like I said, those wins in that season, the 2-1s and the 3-2s, were what got us promoted. So, and my first league goal, professional league goal, was again amazing experience, and that picture there, I'll always remember that as well. And then moving on, I think it was 2 games later to Ashton Gate. I think it was a Saturday 5:30 kickoff, perhaps. Scoring again, turning into a goal-scoring right back here, or full back. I was. But another massive moment. I think drew 2-2 that day, so may not have been probably at our best that day, but grinded the result out, which was kind of what champions do, and a goal for you again. So another special moment in that season. Yeah, like I said, I think those points in any season are crucial, and we were 2-1 down, and I've seen O'Neill running with the ball, dribbling, and he's flashed it across the box, and I was actually playing. I moved up, went from right back to left wing at that point in the game, so I ended up at the back stick, and I've headed it in at the back post. So that was obviously very close to the other goal that I'd scored, and that celebration there was probably even bigger at that point, because we knew what that point meant to us at that time in the season, because the teams around us were in and around us, and we knew each point mattered. So another amazing feeling during that big season for us. And you seemed to do that a lot, particularly in the first season, and under Daniel Farker, was when we were chasing a goal maybe late on, if we were to switch to a 3 at the back, you'd go over across to left wing back. So is that sort of versatility in your game something that you're quite pleased to have? Yeah, definitely. Especially in that season there, when we were chasing a game or whatever, I often moved to left wing back, and O'Neill went to right wing back. So we were both just attacking from each wing, and popping up with goals that meant a lot to the team was crucial. And it's a massive thing for us as a team. One of the most pivotal moments in the season, Elland Road, that game away at Leeds. Looks like you might be giving a bit of stick to the Leeds fans there after scoring. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, that game is the one that fans seem to talk about, and a lot of the players that we've spoke to over the years have said was a real key game in terms of when the team started to believe that we could actually go on to win the title. So I imagine this game sticks in your brain as one of the most iconic from that season. Yeah, I remember coming in from the changing room in that game, coming in from the pitch into the changing room that game, and that was when I fully believed, we're going nowhere else other than to the Premier League from that game. As soon as we beat Leeds, I knew we were gonna go up, knew we were gonna get promoted, and obviously you can see in that picture me and Ben giving a bit of stick to the Leeds fans, which was good, and yeah, that was an amazing game. Probably I think the best of the season, performance-wise. It had everything, and yeah, like I said, that was the moment for sure that I knew we were going to go up. So clinical, and we absolutely bossed that game. So yeah, amazing picture. And I don't actually have that one on my phone, so I'll go look for that one and save that.
We'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, the atmosphere. I mean, it was a massive game at the time. The atmosphere before the game. Obviously, Elland Road's known for being quite a noisy atmosphere, quite daunting for away teams. So to go there, play them off the park, and give a bit of stick to the home fans as well is quite nice.
That was mad, especially as the reception that we got. When we were walking in and stuff like that, I could feel. Obviously, it was my first season, so I hadn't really felt too many atmospheres that were as hostile as that. So I think it was first against second at the time in the league, and we knew the size of the game. But obviously, the Leeds fans were bang up for it. So were our fans, and it was a cagey affair at the start. And obviously, when the goals started going in for us, it pushed us on to go in and win the game comfortably. So yeah, another amazing day.
And we're into the closing stretch of the 18-19 season. A bit of a funny picture here. We've had to zoom in a little bit. I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah, I do remember.
Rotherham away. I think Ben scored to put us 2-1 up, and there's quite a funny moment. A lot of fans have pointed out when he stood on your toe, I think.
Yeah, he did.
It looked like it hurt.
I felt that one for like a week or longer after that. For some reason, he scored, ran off, not even seen me. Obviously, Ben's big and heavy as well, isn't he? So he's stepped all over my foot. And yeah, I felt that one for ages. It was the way he'd done it. I think he was just obviously buzzing that he'd scored, and he just stepped back all over my foot. And you could see there, I'm like, I can't even. I went to go and grab him, but I couldn't even get near him because the pain I was in. But
I think he still managed to play the rest of the game. So
yeah, just about. But it wasn't nice having him stand all over me.
I don't think anyone would enjoy that. And then obviously winning the title at the end, capping off an unbelievable season. So many goals scored, some crazy matches. You played almost every game. To have that medal around your neck and to lift the trophy at the end of your first season, that's what dreams are made of, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Couldn't have gone any better as a, mate in your debut season, getting promoted to the Premier League. With your best friends and a team that was, had so much energy and so much, character. I think, yeah, amazing. And I think what it was, especially at that time as well, was, no one expected us to get promoted that year. And we were a very young team, inexperienced team. And that was a year, obviously, everyone started to take notice, really, of what we were doing. And we went up in the end quite comfortably, but, towards the end it got tense. But that was a feeling of, it all settled, sunk in, and yeah, an amazing feeling.
And you got Ben Godfrey teasing you again. So.
He seems to be everywhere in these pictures, doesn't he? But
featuring Ben Godfrey, you'll have to get it in the title, I think.
Yeah, but nah. I always said, yeah, you can spray champagne over me if when we go up. So, and obviously that's what we're all doing there, and everyone's buzzing. Todd's there in the corner, and the feeling then was definitely special.
Moving into the next season, this game obviously results-wise didn't go too well, but your Premier League debut at Anfield doesn't get much bigger than that. What are your memories of that day, minus the result obviously, but the feeling going into that match, knowing how the scale of the occasion, just talk to us a little bit about your memories of that day.
Yeah, an amazing day as well. Another kind of milestone that I'd hit. A target for mine had always been, from when I was young to play in the Premier League, and that day obviously, that was when it happened. Obviously, I'd like to have come out of the game with something, but going away to Anfield, the Champions League winners at the time, it was always going to be hard. But an amazing day for me and my family, and to at that point especially, yeah, I was just so grateful to be on that pitch and to have been given the opportunity to play on the highest level and on that stage.
Obviously the season didn't end in the way we wanted to, but there were some special moments. This one in particular, probably for yourself, getting that assist for Jamal and the big win just before the pandemic hit. But I mean, a special moment here for you, and you enjoyed it as well. So, what are your memories of this game in particular?
Yeah, like you said, it was just before the pandemic hit, so obviously no one knew what was to come. But we were obviously battling against other teams in and around us in the league at that point, and it was a huge win for us at the time. And it was massively disappointing that we went into a lockdown at that stage, because we were starting to pick up some good form, and we'd just won in the FA Cup against Tottenham as well, I think that week or the game after this. So yeah, it was a great feeling to get the assist for Jamal and a great finish from him, and we were just starting to hit some good form. But yeah, like you can see there, I was just delighted with that game and getting the win that game.
Yeah, you mentioned about Spurs. 9,000 fans travelled to Spurs that night and watched us dig in, come from behind and win that penalty shootout. I mean, not many players win a penalty shootout in their career, so to do it in front of 9,000 fans at one of the most impressive stadiums in Europe must have been a special feeling.
Yeah, that was definitely the highlight, well, one of the highlights of the season. That was special, to have the amount of fans travel to the game, the support we had that day. You can see them all in the back. I remember coming out to warm up and thinking, wow, the game's not even started yet, and the amount of people here is just crazy. And the noise in that stadium was just unreal as well. So obviously you can see me there, just absolutely delighted, and we'd won in the penalty shootout, and it's a very tense occasion in penalties, but the best way to do it for sure, because it's got the most suspense. But when you do win, it's an amazing feeling.
And probably even more special as well, because I think this was not the last game, but one of the last games with fans in stadiums.
Yeah, of course. I think when we were off with in the lockdown, I think that was the game that I'd just looked back to and just wanted to get back to, and that was always the goal, to have fans back and relive moments like this, and hopefully many more in my career. And yeah, what a day, what an occasion.
Then obviously the lockdown came. We've picked a couple of images from obviously one of the low points in the season, the game when we got relegated. I've just pulled up this picture of you and Daniel Farker, obviously our previous head coach, the man who gave you your opportunity in the first team here. So I thought it was very poignant to bring a picture up of him and get you to talk a little bit about what he's done for your career and how indebted you are to him.
Yeah, it's been amazing. All of those pictures, have been obviously my hard work and what I've done to get to that point. But he'd given me the opportunity to showcase what I can do. And like you said, I'm forever grateful for him giving me those opportunities. But that definitely was a really sad day, one that hit me hard as well. Obviously. Getting relegated from the Premier League, and it was an emotional time, and he put his arm around me and said, we're going to come back again, and we're going to battle back and fight back, and when we come back, what we've got to do. And this time around, when we're expected to get promoted, so I was disappointed for a while, and but I knew that we'd come back and fight back and do what we needed to do.
Yeah, looking back on that, obviously, relegation is not something any footballer would want to endure, but given that you were so young back then, is it an experience that could have proved valuable and you've taken probably a lot of learnings from it?
Yeah, it was really hard at the time. Like you said, it was all I'd ever known up until that point was just the constant success and constant progression, going uphill, and I think that was a moment. Obviously we just played West Ham, especially the occasion, how we lost on that day as well was really hard for us as a group, but also me and a lot of the other younger players, and we hadn't been used to losing like that or any sort of negativity really. So that really hit hard, like I've said. but equally, and dust yourself off and we go again.
Right, on to happier times and the season after. Got a couple of pictures here. Obviously, last season was a very successful one. Slightly strange season as well, obviously having no fans there for a lot of it, but there was a moment in December when we were able to win in front of our fans and celebrate with them, and obviously a nice goal for you against Sheffield Wednesday, and to have, albeit I think only 2,000 fans there that day, must have been nice to see them again and to get a win as well.
Yeah, that goal actually makes me laugh because I remember we were in the middle of a pandemic and I've gone and hugged one of the fans, but what season last season was. I think, as you can see here, the relief, and like I said, the previous, my debut season, those wins against teams that you're maybe expected to beat are just so crucial. The 2-1 wins and the 3-2 wins and 1-0s that happen so regularly in the Championship are so crucial to getting the end goal. And obviously you can see me here going over to the fans, and it was a really odd feeling as well, obviously playing nearly all of the season behind closed doors and finally get a chance to be with 2,000 fans, but what felt like the stadium was full because of the noise they were making, and obviously playing without fans for so long, and then having them there, even a small number, was just amazing, and I think that's what helped us and led us on to the victory.
And another goal for you that season, you look buzzing there with that. I think this was against QPR. In the run-in, it was these sort of games where it sort of became apparent that we were going to get over the line and win the title quite comfortably in the end. So another pleasing moment for you, and what a kit, by the way.
Yeah, it is actually that kit. I'd forgotten about that one. Was that the third kit?
Yeah, last season's third.
Yeah.
Very nice kit.
Really nice. You get moments in the season where especially in the seasons when we got promoted, you know certain checkpoints where it's huge for you, and you're on your way to getting promoted. So that was one of them, and to get a goal arriving at the back stick again was amazing for me, and obviously, it's disappointing that it was behind closed doors, I think, that season, because it was amazing, and some of the football we played was unbelievable, and another great moment, another goal, and on our way to getting promoted again.
Yeah, I was just going to talk to you about that season, obviously lifting the trophy again like that a lot of times that season in front of no fans at Oakwell. Just going to sort of ask you about how this championship title compared to the previous one. Obviously the obvious point is playing in front of no fans on this occasion, but were there any sort of differences in the teams perhaps? A lot of similar players maybe, but a couple of new guys coming in. Just for you, what were the differences between the two title wins? Yeah,
I think, like I said before, the first time we went up, we weren't expected to at all. There was no pressure on us whatsoever, and game by game the target was getting closer, but I don't think we even knew what our aim was that season, because everything was just coming so thick and fast. Whereas this season and the second time we'd got promoted, I think we were expected to. We all felt disappointed with the relegation the season before, and we all felt like it was within our duty to go and get promoted again, and it was still the same feeling, still amazing. It was disappointing not to have fans there, like I said, and it made it a lot harder, but to put the smile on their faces like that, and what better way to do it than to lift the trophy again. Amazing. The feeling was definitely still the same, but I think we were expected to go up this time around, and it felt like it was right for us to get promoted, and we knew what we needed to do.
And then into another crack at the Premier League this season. Just wanted to get your thoughts on what you feel that the differences are in the Premier League, if there are any, from 2 years ago. Has there been an increase in quality of the opponents you're coming up against, an increase in tempo perhaps? Just what are your thoughts on how the Premier League has developed over the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, obviously, we're a lot more experienced this time around, and know that, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable and knowing that the task ahead. Obviously, we know the quality of each team in the league. There's not one team that you go to and it's going to be an easy game, or expected to win. And each game you have to completely battle and give more than 100%, 100% because that's what it takes to win a game on this level. And even that doesn't guarantee you a victory. So it's an amazing feeling, obviously, to be playing on the highest level, but we want more of that. This club deserves to be on this level for years and years. So it's like I said, now we know the task that we've got to achieve, and you've spoken about the quality there, but we also have a lot of quality in our team, and I think other teams can see that as well. And it's about us showing that now. We've just done that against Everton, and it's about us taking that forward.
Definitely. Obviously, Dean Smith came in charge and kick-started his reign with a victory. One of the best photos from this season, I think, so far is this one. Best view in the house. Look at that.
Look at that. I don't even know where I'm looking. I think I'm looking at towards the snake pit or something down that end. But I definitely didn't see Timu head it in. That's one thing for sure.
So it wasn't the best view in the house?
No,
then?
It wasn't. It looks like it because my head's pointing in that direction, but I didn't even see what was going on at the time, to be fair. I think I've gone on the overlap and Milot's played me closer to the line than I expected, and I've had to stretch to get the ball and keep it in, and obviously I've fallen backwards, but I didn't know if my head was going to hit a camera or anything like that. But yeah, managed to get the crossing and the assist for Timu, and that was obviously the new manager's first game, so to kick that off with a win was amazing, and what a win it was. But yeah, hopefully more moments like this, and that's one thing I'm striving for: more assists and to contribute with goals for the team. And yeah, it's a funny picture because I definitely was not looking, or my eyes were closed or something.
And you're obviously hoping you get more moments like this.
Yeah, there's just been a picture actually that I think you put up the other day where I've exactly the same expression. But yeah, I think it's just part of me, just loving to win games and have, success. And I think each time a goal goes in, you can realise what it does for the club and what it does for your team, and how goals can change games. And each goal that goes in, each game that we win, takes us closer to our goal. And obviously you can see the delight on my face there, or I don't know if it is delight or just passion. And yeah, it's just like I said, the passion that I have for the club, and the passion that I have for each and every game.
It's always helpful when you do things like this, because you have the celebration, and then whoever scored it goes back. But then a couple of times, you and Brandon Williams does it a few times.
Yeah.
We'll then have another little celebration in front of the crowd. So it's helpful for our photographers to get that as well.
Yeah, it's good. I think
That's a great picture.
It is, definitely.
And then that leads us into the final picture, which was your 150th appearance for Norwich City Football Club at London Stadium against West Ham United. Results-wise, didn't go to plan, but another milestone to tick off for yourself, and another milestone I'm sure you're very proud of. If you could just tell us what it means to you to play for Norwich City Football Club, a club that you've been at for a long, long time. So just tell us what it means to you to play for this football club.
Yeah, it's. I think I said the other day, it's an honour every time I put the shirt on. I don't take it for granted what the club's done for me, and I hope that that I've repaid that, and can repay that even more. The faith that's been shown in me by the club, and obviously how hard I've worked to get to this point. My family as well, how hard they've worked to help get me to this point. But I think I've said it now a few times that I just want more and more of that, and I want to achieve more and more games and not stop now and just keep going. But it is an amazing feeling to put on the shirt. That first picture at home against Stevenage, and then my 150th away at West Ham is still the same feeling, and it's still an honour to put on a shirt. So yeah, amazing, and now I just want more and more and more, and to just keep going and more success.
Excellent. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.